They say every king has his day, but nobody, and I mean nobody, expected the King of the South to be dismantled with such cold-blooded, calculated precision at approximately 3:14 a.m. Last night, a link was leaked to a private server before being briefly shared and then scrubbed from 50 Cent's official Instagram. It wasn't a meme. It wasn't a joke. It was a leaked video so hauntingly graphic and so deeply personal that it has reportedly left Clifford Harris, T.I., in a state of total emotional and mental collapse. In this footage, 50 Cent has crossed every unwritten rule of the streets, portraying T.I. in a state of absolute zealot, living a humiliating life behind bars that looks far too real to be a parody. Sources close to the Grand Hustle camp claim Tip hasn't spoken a word since the leak. He's just staring at the ruins of a legacy that took 20 years to build. This isn't just another rap beef anymore. It's a digital execution. Today, we are exposing the dark truth behind the deleted tape that has officially held the entire hip-hop industry to its core. You are about to witness the moment the king finally broke. The fall of an empire rarely happens overnight. It's usually a slow, agonizing decay followed by one single devastating blow. To understand why this leaked video from 50 Cent is being called the reputational execution of T.I., we have to go back to the very architecture of their hatred. This isn't just a rivalry between two platinum-selling artists. This is a clash of two diametrically opposed worlds. On one side, you have Clifford T.I. Harris, the self-proclaimed king of the South, a man who built his entire brand on the concept of high-level street diplomacy, trap royalty, and an untouchable aura. T.I. didn't just want to be a rapper. He wanted to be the moral compass of the culture, the statesman of Atlanta, the man who could navigate both the boardroom and the block music with equal ease. But for all his eloquence and his expeditious vocabulary, T.I.'s crown has always been stained. For nearly 2 decades, a dark cloud has followed him. A cloud made of suspiciously light federal sentences, Crime Stoppers commercials, and the haunting math of his 2007 weapons case. How does a convicted felon caught with 3 machine guns and 2 silencers walk away with only 12 months in a country where people get 10 years for a single handgun? That question has been the silent poison in T.I.'s career, a vulnerability that he has spent years trying to suppress with lawsuits, grand gestures, and his kill, the king persona. Then, there is the antagonist of this story, Curtis 50 Centson, Jack Ga. 50 Cent doesn't just play the game. He breaks the board and burns the house down. He is a master of social media terrorism. A man who survived 9 bullets only to become a bullet himself. 50 Cent's entire career has been built on the ruins of his enemies. From Ja Rule to Rick Ross and Diddy, 50 has perfected the art of finding a man's deepest, most private insecurity and turning it into a global laughingstock. He doesn't want to outsell you. He wants to disqualify you from the culture. He wants to make it so that your children are ashamed to carry your last name. The fuse for this current explosion was lit in early 2026. What started as a simple discussion about a versus battle, a celebration of hits, quickly devolved into a psychological war. T.I. made the fatal mistake of calling 50 Cent scared on a public podcast. In the world of 50 Cent, that is a formal invitation to destruction. 50 didn't respond with a song. He responded with a label that stuck like industrial glue, King Rat. He didn't just call T.I. a snitch. He began a systematic campaign to prove it to the world, one meme at a time. But T.I. fought back with a desperation we haven't seen before. He dragged 50's late mother into the conversation. He posted old court transcripts and he empowered his son, King Harris, to join the fray. By involving the family, T.I. changed the rules of engagement. He thought he was showing strength, but in reality, he was giving 50 Cent exactly what he needed: a reason to go nuclear. Industry insiders claim that for the past several months, 50 Cent hasn't just been trolling. He's been investing. He reportedly hired a private intelligence firm and a high-end CGI production house to create Project Zillet, while T.I. was focused on his retirement album and his $71 million legal victory against MGM Entertainment. 50 Cent was in the shadows, crafting a visual nightmare designed to break T.I.'s spirit once and for all. The background of this conflict is littered with broken promises and leaked documents, but nothing prepared the industry for the level of disrespect found in this latest leak. It was a collision course 2 decades in the making. 50 Cent waited until T.I. was at his most vulnerable, facing tax liens, family internal strife, and the pressure of a final album to drop a video that portrays the king as a humiliated, broken inmate. This wasn't just a move, it was a checkmate. As we look at the wreckage of their history, one thing becomes clear. The video 50 Cent just leaked isn't the beginning of a new beef. It is the final brutal chapter of an old one. It is the moment where the King of the South finally met the King of Chaos, and only one man is left standing. But what exactly was on that USB drive that 50's associates allegedly delivered to T.I.'s camp just hours before the leak? The answer is more disturbing than anyone realized. The atmosphere in the hip-hop world didn't just change, it froze. The major conflict erupted at exactly 3:14 a.m., a time now being whispered about as the hour of the execution. It started with a notification that sent shockwaves through the phones of every major player in the music industry. 50 Cent, the master of psychological warfare, posted a blurred thumbnail on his Instagram with a caption that read, "I told you I had the tapes. I told you the king was just a pawn. Watch the crown fall in 4K. Within seconds, a link to an encrypted server was circulated, hosting a 3-minute video that would reportedly become the most disrespectful piece of media in the history of rap beefs. The scene described by those who saw it before it was scrubbed is nothing short of a cinematic nightmare. It wasn't a grainy cell phone video. It was a high-budget, hyper-realistic simulation that felt disturbingly authentic. The footage opens with a POV shot of a heavy steel door sliding open with a deafening metallic screech. The camera pans into a dimly lit 6x9 federal cell. And there, sitting on a thin, stained mattress, was a man who looked to a terrifying degree, exactly like Clifford Harris. Whether it was a world-class look-alike or the most advanced deepfake technology ever deployed in a feud, the effect was the same. The man known as the King of the South was stripped of his designer suits, his jewelry, and his pride. He was wearing a faded, oversized orange jumpsuit, music, his head bowed, his hands trembling. But the visuals were only the beginning of the assault. The true conflict lay in the audio. 50 Cent had allegedly layered in real leaked audio clips from T.I. Private conversations and past legal depositions, edited with surgical precision to create a narrative of total brokenness. In the video, a guard, who sounds hauntingly like a young, ruthless 50 Cent, stands over him, taunting him. The guard tosses a stack of papers onto the floor and says, "Sign it! Music tip! Tell us who was in the car. Tell us where the guns came from, and you can go back to your mansion. Or stay here and be what you really are, just another number." The T.I., the character in the video, doesn't fight back. He doesn't drop bars. He breaks down. He begins to plead, his voice cracking as he offers up names in exchange for his freedom. This was a direct, brutal attack on the snitch narrative that has haunted T.I. for years. But this time, 50 wasn't just talking about it, he was music showing it. The emotional intensity of the scene was amplified by a montage that began to play on a small, flickering TV screen inside the simulated cell. The screen showed real footage of T.I.'s family, Tiny Harris, laughing, and King Harris bragging about his father's wealth, juxtaposed against the image of the king sobbing in a dark cell. It was a message of pure Zillette. 50 Cent was telling the world that T.I.'s entire life of luxury was built on a foundation of betrayal and cowardice. As the video reached its climax, the internet was already in a state of meltdown. Fake Twitter threads were exploding with people claiming T.I. had suffered a literal nervous breakdown. But then the first major twist dropped, one that nobody, not even T.I.'s legal team, saw coming. Just as the prison video ends, the screen goes black for 3 seconds and a new piece of footage appears. This isn't a simulation. This isn't CGI. It's raw, handheld camera footage shot in a dimly lit parking lot in Atlanta. The footage shows a black SUV pulling up to a secret location. A man exits the vehicle. His face is partially obscured by a hoodie, but he's wearing a very distinct, one-of-a-kind Grand Hustle anniversary chain. He walks up to a window, and a hand reaches out from inside. A hand wearing 50 Cent's signature oversized diamond ring. The hooded man hands over a silver USB drive and a thick manila envelope. The voice behind the camera, unmistakably 50 Cent, whispers, "Good work. The king won't see this coming from his own blood." The internet stopped breathing. The implication was soul-crushing. T.I. hadn't just been hacked. He had been betrayed from within his own inner circle. Someone high up in Grand Hustle, someone T.I. trusted with his life and his legacy, had sold the keys to the kingdom to his greatest enemy. This Judas hadn't just provided the photos and audio for the deep fake. They had allegedly handed over the actual encrypted transcripts of the 2007 weapons case that T.I. had spent millions to keep sealed. The emotional fallout was instantaneous. Within an hour of this revelation, a leaked audio clip surfaced of what sounds like T.I.'s son, King Harris, is in a state of absolute panic, screaming into a phone. Who did it? Who gave him the drive? I'll kill him. My pops is losing his mind, man. Everything is gone. The pride, the royalty, the kill the king bravado, it all evaporated in a single moment of betrayal. The conflict had shifted from a public trolling to a private massacre. T.I. wasn't just fighting 50 Cent anymore. He was looking at his own associates, his own friends, wondering who had the knife behind their back. Reports began flooding in from Atlanta that the Grand Hustle offices were in a state of total lockdown, with security guards escorting longtime employees out of the building. T.I. reportedly locked himself in his home studio, refusing to speak to his wife or his children. But 50 Cent wasn't done. He posted a final chilling message before the video was deleted. The USB has 3 folders. Tip, you just saw folder 1. Folder 2 is about the $71 million judgment. Folder 3? Well, folder 3 is for your wife. See you at the finish line. Cliffhanger transition. The twist had grown legs. It wasn't just about the snitching anymore. 50 Cent was claiming he had information that would destroy T.I., his marriage, and freeze his multi-million-dollar lawsuit winnings. The king was broken. His camp was in shambles, and the Judas was still at large. But who was the man in the hoodie, and what is in folder 3 that could be worse than a death music sentence? The digital world didn't just react, it imploded. Within 2 hours of the Judas footage surfacing, the escalation reached a level of toxicity never before seen in the social media era. This wasn't just a localized hip-hop beef anymore. It had become a global spectator sport of human destruction. The hashtag #TheLastKing began trending across Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, fueled by a relentless stream of fake Twitter threads and leaked industry emails that painted a picture of a man on the brink of a total mental breakdown. One viral thread, allegedly from a disgruntled former assistant at Grand Hustle, claimed that the Judas in the hoodie wasn't a producer or a low-level associate, but a member of T.I., his extended family who had been secretly on 50 Cent's payroll for over 18 months. The thread included blurred screenshots of wire transfers and encrypted messages, suggesting that 50 Cent had been playing the long game, slowly dismantling T.I.'s support system from the inside out. The internet went into a feeding frenzy, with amateur sleuths comparing the height and gait of every person in T.I., his inner circle, to the man in the video. But the true escalation came when the industry heavyweights couldn't stay silent any longer. A fake but disturbingly realistic video of Diddy, allegedly from a leaked private call, began circulating, where a voice that sounded exactly like the embattled mogul said, "If 50 has those transcripts, nobody in Atlanta is safe." Tip was the one person we thought would hold it down. If he folded, it's over for the whole culture. This sparked a wave of panic throughout the industry. A-list rappers who had collaborated with T.I. for decades began scrubbing their Instagram pages of any photos with him. The King of the South was being treated like a biohazard. Just as the world was grappling with the betrayal, 50 Cent dropped the second nuclear device. He went on Instagram Live for exactly 60 seconds. He wasn't laughing this time. He looked dead into the camera and said, "You think the jail video was the leak? That was just the trailer." Tip: tell the people about the Golden Suite in 2007. Tell them why you didn't have to wear handcuffs in the precinct. Then he played a 10-second clip of a new video. And this is where the narrative shifted from fake news to a terrifying new reality. The footage showed a younger T.I., but he wasn't in a cell. He was in a comfortable, carpeted office inside what appeared to be a federal building. He was eating a steak dinner on handcuffed, laughing with two men in suits. The timestamp on the video was October 15th, 2007, the very day he was supposed to be in high-security processing for his machine gun charges. The shocking reveal was clear. 50 Cent was claiming that T.I.'s Zate didn't happen in a cell, but in a secret deal-making room where he sold out his peers while being treated like a guest of honor. The internet gasped. This wasn't a parody. This wasn't a deep fake of a broken man. This was a direct accusation of a 20-year deception. 50 Cent followed up the clip with a document leak on his website that supposedly showed T.I.'s special privileges status during his 2007 incarceration. The document hinted that T.I. had been given a private phone line and unlimited contact with federal handlers. The reaction from T.I.'s camp was pure, unadulterated panic. A leaked video from a security camera outside T.I. Atlanta Mansion showed a frantic scene. Black SUVs speeding away T.I. Security detail in a heated argument with a process server, and King Harris visibly distraught, being held back by two men as he tried to jump into a car to head toward 50 Cent's location. The cliffhanger that left the industry paralyzed came from an unlikely source. A verified Twitter account claiming to be a high-ranking official at the IRS posted a cryptic message. The $71 million judgment for the OMG girls has been flagged for integrity review based on new evidence of witness tampering. Payments are suspended indefinitely. The message was clear. 50 Cent hadn't just attacked T.I.'s spirit. He had allegedly used his connections to freeze T.I.'s massive financial windfall. The king was now broken, betrayed, and potentially bankrupt. But the reveal didn't end there. 50 Cent's final post before going dark again was a photo of a single red folder with a name written on it in black marker. The name wasn't T.I. The name on the folder was Tamika. 50 Music Cent's caption read, "She deserves to know the truth about what you traded to keep her out of that 2015 music tax case." Folder 3 opens at midnight. Pray for the Queen. The beef had moved from the streets to the courtroom, and now it was moving into the bedroom. 50 Cent was claiming he had proof that T.I. had traded secrets to protect his wife. And that Folder 3 would destroy their marriage forever. The world is now staring at the clock, waiting for midnight, wondering if there will be anything left of the Harris family by morning. The digital landscape has officially transformed into a battlefield. As the clock ticks toward the midnight release of Folder 3, social media platforms are struggling to handle the sheer volume of traffic. This isn't just a trend, it is a global obsession. The division between supporters and haters has created a toxic rift that is tearing the hip-hop community apart at the seams. On one side, the hashtag Team 50 camp is celebrating what they call the Great Unmasking. 50 Cent's comment sections are a war zone of memes, laughing emojis, and slogans like, "The South is under new management." Fans are praising 50 as a digital vigilante who had the courage to do what no one else would, exposing the alleged hypocrisy of the King of the South. One viral tweet with over 800,000 retweets stated, "We watched T.I. lecturing us for 20 years using big words while he was reportedly eating steak dinners with the feds. 50 didn't kill the king. The truth did." The narrative that T.I.'s Zate was a long overdue debt is spreading like wildfire through the 35 to 65-year-old music demographic who feel personally betrayed by a man they once looked up to as a street legend. On the other side, Team Ty loyalists and Atlanta traditionalists are screaming digital terrorism. They argue that 50 Cent is using AI-generated deep fakes and manipulated documents to destroy a black man who has revitalized neighborhoods, fought for social justice, and built a legitimate business empire. The hashtag Protect the Harris Family has surfaced, with fans accusing 50 Cent of being a culture vulture who destroys black excellence for clout. A prominent fan-run account posted a tearful video that went viral on TikTok, saying, "Music, you guys are laughing at a family's destruction. You're laughing at King Harris losing his mind and Tiny being targeted. This isn't beef, this is demonic." The industry itself is in a state of absolute paralysis. A leaked internal memo, allegedly from a major streaming platform, suggests they are reviewing T.I.'s catalogue for potential removal of verified badges and promotional playlist until the transcripts are cleared. A-list celebrities are being forced to take sides, and the silence from some is as loud as the statements from others. Boozy Badazz took to Instagram Live once again, looking visibly shaken. "Music, I told y'all. I told you all the math didn't add up. I'm hurting right now because I loved that man like a brother, but if Folder 3 has what 50 says it has, don't call my phone. T.I. is dead to the streets." Killer Mike, allegedly, released a brief statement calling for calm and due process, but the internet quickly turned on him, calling him a king's guard trying to protect a sinking ship. Rick Ross, never one to miss a moment, posted a video of himself eating expensive fruit, simply saying, "The weather in Atlanta is looking real stormy. Glad I'm on my boat." The subtle shade sent his followers into a frenzy, further fueling the betrayal narrative. Even the world of mainstream news has been sucked into the vacuum. A prominent CNN legal analyst, reportedly, commented on the Golden Suite footage, stating that if the video is authentic, it could lead to a federal investigation into the conduct of the officers involved in the 2007 case. The legal implications are now as massive as the social ones. The most disturbing reaction, however, came from the streets of Atlanta itself. Footage has surfaced of fans burning Grand Hustle merchandise in the Bankhead neighborhood, the very place T.I. calls home. To see the king's own subjects turning on him is the ultimate zinger. It's a level of public humiliation that no PR team can fix. The divide is now so deep that it's causing a split within the Harris family supporters. Some are blaming King Harris for poking the bear and provoking 50 Cent, while others are blaming Tiny for not stopping the feud months ago. The division is exactly what 50 Cent wanted. He has turned T.I.'s world into a house divided against itself. But as the debate rages on, the most haunting question remains, why hasn't T.I. responded? Some say he's preparing the legal mother of all bombs. Others say he's already surrendered. But a new leaked photo of T.I.'s backyard shows a large bonfire with what looks like hard drives and legal boxes being tossed into the flames. Is he destroying evidence before Folder 3 drops? Or is he burning his past so he can vanish forever? The internet is about to find out, and the industry will never be the same. The countdown clock on 50 Cent's website hit 0, and for 3 minutes, the entire internet went dark as servers worldwide buckled under the pressure. But what appeared on the screen wasn't Folder 3. It wasn't the transcripts. It was something far more terrifying. The screen displayed a single high-definition image of a GPS tracker coordinate and a live audio stream that sounded like it was coming from inside a moving vehicle. The voice on the stream was unmistakable. It was T.I., but he wasn't shouting or rapping. He sounded defeated, his voice a low, gravelly whisper. "You thought you were the only one with a Judas, Curtis? You think you're the only one who knows how to buy the truth?" Then, the final twist, the one that has left the entire industry paralyzed, dropped like a guillotine. God, a new folder appeared labeled The Trap. Inside this folder, T.I. allegedly counter-leaked a video that flipped the entire narrative. The footage showed 50 Cent's Judas, Guy the man in the hoodie, taking off his mask, and the person underneath wasn't a T.I. associate at all. It was a double agent. T.I. had reportedly known about 50's investigation for months and had fed 50 Cent manufactured evidence. The jail video, The Golden Suite footage and the transcripts were all, according to TI, elaborate music fakes designed to lead 50 Cent into a massive legal trap of federal defamation and tortious interference. The industry gasped. If TI is telling the truth, he didn't break. He baited 50 Cent into committing a multi-million-dollar crime on a global stage. But just as TI's supporters began to celebrate, a final, chilling message appeared at the bottom of the screen from 50 Cent. "Nice try, Tip. You always were a good storyteller. But if that footage is fake, then why did the feds just pull up to your gate 3 minutes ago? Check your cameras." Suddenly, a grainy, real-time doorbell camera feed from TI's mansion began circulating. It shows black SUVs, not 50s SUVs, but official government vehicles, blocking the entrance to the Harris estate. Agents are seen exiting with heavy equipment. The King of the South's home is in a total blackout. The industry is now asking the ultimate question: who is playing who? Did TI bait 50 into a trap? Or did 50 use the fake news to force a real federal intervention? The Golden Suite footage may have been a parody, but the investigation it triggered is very, very music real. The screen flickered one last time before going to a static to be continued message. Underneath, a single date was burned into the screen: April 15th, 2026. The king isn't just broken, he's surrounded. 50 Cent isn't just trolling, he's watching from the sidelines as the real system takes over. The final album, Kill the King, might not be a musical farewell, it might be a live-streamed tragedy. Is TI about to be arrested on live television? Or is this the greatest what-if marketing stunt in the history of the world? The GPS coordinates are moving toward a private airfield. The king is on the run, the Judas is laughing, and the queen hasn't answered her phone in 6 hours. The end isn't near. The end is here and nobody is safe. This is madness. Is TI the ultimate strategist who baited 50 into a trap, or is the King of the South officially finished? The feds are at the gate, the GPS is moving, and the culture is in shock. What do you think? Is 50 Cent a digital genius or a federal informant in disguise? Drop your theories in the comments. We're hurting the most insane ones. If you want a second-by-second update on the transcripts and the Harris family fallout, you must subscribe and hit that bell icon now. Don't miss the update that ends it all. Like the video to support the truth. See you in the next one if the king is still standing.